I'm not sure if grateful even covers it. But also as a dad, realizing that I got her back, but others don't get theirs back. Grateful in a very unexplained way, guilty.
Randy Scroggins, the father of shooting survivor Lacey Scroggins, expressing gratitude following his daughter's escape from that mass shooting last week in Oregon. Today, that school, Umpqua Community College, reopened as the country comes to terms with this mass shooting. The FBI on high alert. According to reports, colleges and universities in the Philadelphia area are possibly threatened after a social media posting. No specific school was mentioned, but people were told to be alert and report any suspicious activity. For more on this troubling topic, let's welcome in via Skype from New Jersey, former New York Police Commissioner Bernard Kerik. Bernie is the author of the best-selling book, From Jailer to Jailed. So, Bernie, the FBI goes to an alert because of a social media posting that makes reference to last week's massacre in Oregon. Is this the new norm?
Honestly, JD, I think it pretty much is. You know, we've been talking about this for the last year and a half, 2 years. These threats, whether social media driven or whether it's chatter coming from abroad, you know, these threats continue to increase. I think things like what just happened in Oregon and other places, I think they're instigators for radicals, for, you know, lunatics, people that would want to harm others or create havoc or you know, domestic or international terror attacks. You know, I think this is what we have to be prepared for. And just on that note, I want to again commend the men and women out in Oregon that responded to this school, to this college. Their response was immediate. It was appropriate. It was well prepared, it seems. And I think they should be commended for what they've done.
Bernie, law enforcement has been your business, has been your profession, but I'm going to ask you to give us some public advice in this business. The sheriff out there delayed mentioning the killer's name because he didn't want to give the killer the attention, even in death, that the killer wanted to receive. Should we try to abridge our coverage of these horrible events? What do you think of the situation? Do we feed it by giving these people the oxygen of publicity?
You know what, JD, I can't, I would never, ever criticize the sheriff for the decision he made. I get it. I understand it. My problem with not focusing and covering on covering the events, is that the American people seem to be, they need constant reminders of what the threats really are. And sometimes, you know, and this goes back to September 11, 2001. The further we get away from it, the less vigilant we become, it appears. We get complacent. We're not doing things we should have done or should be doing. Some towns, some communities are, some aren't. But I think these examples are unfortunate examples of and reminders that we have to be prepared for these types of events, no matter what. And I think everything we can do to prepare for them, whether it's, you know, crisis management and disaster response preparation, tabletop exercises, mock drills, this is the way of the future. This is what we're going to have to be prepared for. And covering these events are reminders that that's what we need to do.
All right, let me turn to another topic before you and I part company. About a minute 15 remains. Congress now taking up the criminal justice reform bill. There is bipartisan support. I understand you even played a part in this legislation as well. Why is it so important now?
Well, listen, this is something that's been coming for years. It's only come to light over the last year and a half to 2 years, and the bipartisan effort is really what's driving it at this point. The reality is, you know, our prisons are overpopulated. We're putting people in prison that don't need prison to pay for their mistakes. We're locking people up for ethical and regulatory violations that could be, punished with alternatives to incarceration. And I think the Congress sees that, and they're addressing it. Hopefully, we can get a bill through the House, through the Senate, get it on the president's desk for a signature, and just keep going down this road.
And we will have to leave it right there, Bernie. We thank you for your time. Bernie Kerik, the author of the book, From Jailer to Jailed. Up next, an Iranian threat. The Iranians say they have their missiles pointed at U.S. bases in the Mideast. Retired Army Colonel Patrick Murray joins us to discuss that troubling topic as we continue here on Newsmax Prime.